A Trip to Woodland, retold by Jane and Sarah Brearley. Illustrations by Tony Wolff. The chariot race. The Dragon King knew his subjects only too well. They're not a bad batch, just a little rowdy. But I really ought to think of something to keep them busy so they won't start to squabble. Let's see. I've got it! I'll organize a chariot race. Now, there was only one racetrack in all of Dragonland. It ran between the peaks of the Eternal Mountains along the floor of an old riverbed that was sandy and smooth. When the Dragonland creatures heard about the chariot race, there was a great hullabaloo. Even the spectators would have great fun throwing things in the driver's way so that their favorite chariot would have a better chance of winning. "Hey, Horn Horse!" called Dragonix and Dragonax to their friend, the Horned Horse. "Is it a deal? You be our driver and we'll split the prize." Dragonix lowered his voice. "We've hatched a plot with some of our pals, so we're sure to win." The Dragon King was beginning to worry about the chariot race. "I hope you're all going to run a clean race. And remember, the first chariot to pass under Matt's neck after 3 laps is the winner. Try not to smash the place up, will you? Last time there was so much fighting that the village looked like a hospital for a week afterward." The chariots lined up at the starting line. "Great kangaroos," muttered one of the drivers, looking anxiously at Dragonix and Dragonax. "Are those little terrors running too?" "I'll eat my tail if they aren't up to something," said his neighbor suspiciously. The starter raised the flag, and they were off. Alas for the Dragon King's good intentions, by the second lap every egg in Dragonland had been hurled at the hapless heads of the drivers. Now came the last lap. The Dragon Twins were wild with excitement. "Giddy up, Horn Horse!" they screamed as they whizzed along. The earth shook as the creatures thundered along the old riverbed. "Take that, Slowpoke!" yelled Dragonix gleefully, heaving a giant acorn at the driver in front. Said the short-sighted old king. "Are the creatures behaving themselves?" "It's a great race," answered one of the kangaroos. "Yes, there's nothing like a chariot race," sighed the Dragon King contentedly. Meanwhile, the chariots were hurtling towards the finish line, Matt's neck. By now, the spectators had started to throw things at each other, and very soon there was a regular brawl on the sidelines. "I hope our pals keep their promise," said Dragonax to his brother. Closer and closer came the finish line. Just as the front runners came rushing by, the spectators neared the finish line, one of the Dragon Twins' pals held out a fat strawberry. Matt, who loved strawberries, lowered his head to get it, and bam! The leading chariot tumbled into a heap. "Hooray!" yelled the twins, sweeping under the other end of Matt's neck. The young dragons had won. "Vroom," grunted the Dragon King. "It gives me great pleasure to award this prize to, Dragonix and Dragonax." He looked at them a little doubtfully. Always behave like gentle swords and you'll never go wrong. The twins accepted the traditional stone wreath and cup with the most innocent smiles imaginable. As for poor Matt, he was given a sound scolding for misbehaving.